Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? It's Kenshin here, and it's time for another Friday food review. I know it's been ages since I did one. I feel like the last time I did do one was here at Taco Bell, and well, don't hate me, but I'm back again. I know it's been more than a month since it was a proper sit down in the car, me talking to you guys, food review. But that was because I was off for winter break, and you know, didn't really do much to leave the house, as it were. It was a lot of playing video games and editing and stuff, and I just started back to school on Wednesday, and so because today's Friday, we go back to the norm like we always did. And just as a reminder, all of you out there, if there's anything you want to see me try, give me a suggestion. I'll give you a shout out in a video, and it'll go on the list. Right now, this was something I chose myself. I do have an ongoing list. It's only got 3 or 4 items on there, but I wanted to try what we've got here. It smells good, so I can definitely smell the grilled smell to it. So we're gonna go, because I left you guys hanging for a while and kind of gave you the cracker reviews or whatever was going on there. I don't know, it was just a little something else. I decided to come back at you with a threefer. You know, it's not just one item; it's gonna be 3. And let's see, we got served today by well, it says the cashier is Rebecca, but It was a black man who served me, so unless he's named Rebecca, unless he's got some issues I don't know about, then I don't think I was served by Rebecca. But if I was, no offense to the name, you know, Leslie Towing Company, all that. And overall, for what we're about to have here, our meal here, it was $4.01, but you know, might as well. It was $4, and that's because we got the loaded potato griller. Yeah, we got that. I've been wanting to try that for a while. I didn't know they actually still had it on the menu. I thought it was a limited time thing, but it's there. We got that. We got the spicy chicken, Crunchwrap slider, and the beefy cheddar Crunchwrap slider. So we got a lot to work on. Now, as for the Crunchwrap itself, you know, I know that Taco Bell has got the, we're at Taco Bell, by the way, I said that already, but I know Taco Bell has got the Crunchwrap Supreme, and that's basically like, it's the meat, some cheese, and some sour cream. I think, then there's like some tomato and lettuce going on in there. That's all good, but you know, I'm not a fan of tomato and lettuce, you know, give or take. No, it's crunchy water. This stuff, it's just more focused on what the meat and the cheese and stuff. Plus, it's got more crunchiness going on in there. So I decided to get that because it'd be better off to get 2 for, you know, they're $1 a piece. The Crunchwrap Supreme is $2.49, but if you know, for the price of 2, it's like 50 cents cheaper. And by the time you're done with 2, you'll have eaten more than just one of the Supreme. So we're gonna get started right away here with one of these. We're gonna pull out the one of the Crunchwrap sliders here. I'm not sure which one this is. Oh, this is the beefy cheddar. Fantastic. That was the first one. We're a good place to start. And now, besides the Crunchwrap Supreme, they've also got, you know, aside from the spicy chicken and the beefy cheddar, there's also the BLT. Now, don't think that that's bacon lettuce, man. That's beef, lettuce, and tomato. And that's basically, those are the 3 Crunchwrap versions: the spicy chicken, the beefy cheddar, and the BLT. Now, because the BLT basically has everything in it that I could do without, that's why we're not getting that. That's why we're just sticking to this. So basically, if you've seen the Crunchwrap Supreme, this is basically a smaller version of that. It's just basically a good old rolled up thing. It's a Crunchwrap. It's wrapped up together, and well, it's supposed to. Let's see, I have the descriptions here on my phone, so I'm not wanting for an explanation. You know, I wanted to make sure I ordered everything right, so I opened up all the tabs beforehand on my phone so I could read them off as I was going. So let's see, this has got seasoned beef, warm nacho cheese, yeah, cheddar cheese, and some crunchy Fritos chips. So that'll be a lot of fun. So, oh wait, gotta have a drink with us. Oh yeah. Good old ginger ale, aid in digestion. Because, well, as everyone says, Taco Bell, you're gonna need it. No, I know, it's a myth. Taco Bell ain't gonna mess you up. But only if you got a super weak stomach. So let's get into this. Right away, the crunch aspect of it is very apparent. They definitely load this up with lots of chips, which is good. Because for the past month, I'll tell you, I've been dying for just something like a fast food some other with a good crunch. And this is fulfilling my desires for that. Now, the chips are mainly like above and below that you see in there. And again, it's not going to be super sexy looking. It's just all meant to be packed in there. But chips are especially on the perimeter going on. And then once you get into it, you get into the beef and the cheese. And so that's where you get more flavor. Well, based on what I'm experiencing here, it's good, but nothing you haven't had before in some form. You know, if you've had like the spicy Fritos, Doritos, whatever it was thing, then this is a lot like that, just not spicy. You know, it's I got a piece stuck up here in my teeth. You know, it's good, but there's nothing that's gonna really blow you away. All right, adjust the camera a little bit. Don't want to get the steering wheel in there. I think the best part of this is probably the nacho cheese. The cheddar cheese and the beef leaves a little bit to be desired. The crunchiness though is great. That bite right there, that was perfect. Because I got a full bite of the Fritos and the nacho cheese in there with some meat. I feel like if the ingredients were dispersed a little bit better inside of there, you know, instead of just kind of being, you know, strong here and then not there, like a lot of chips here and then no beef there. I feel like if they were dispersed better, it would be a lot better of an experience. Because when you get the right bite, make sure it's zoomed out of the way. I've been using this camera a lot in the past little while. When you get the right bite, it's great. But as far as my experience with this goes, it's good, but it's not going to rock your world. It's nothing you've never had before. If it interests you and you'd like to try it, go ahead. I won't stop you. But, you know, what I'm having here is something you've had before many times, I promise. Might not have been in this form, but you've had it. But, hey, $1 for that? Gotta consider the price versus quality. $1 for that? Shit. You really can't beat that. It's about $1 worth of food there. Some places you pay $1 for a drink. Even at Taco Bell, you're paying $1 for a drink. More than that. So hey, you want a snack, a quick snack, stop in, grab that, grab 2, grab 3. Not going to be heavy on your wallet at all. And for what you're paying for it, yeah, it's worth it. Now let's hit the other slider, and then we'll do the loaded potato griller, which I'm expecting to be the best. All right. So this one is the spicy chicken, and what we got going on here is it's a lot like the beefy cheddar, but basically here, oh come on, now the page is reloading because I want to make sure I get it right when I'm telling you guys about the action in here. It's got shredded, marinated, all white meat chicken, creamy chipotle sauce, and crunchy Fritos chips. So instead of the cheese going on there like you had the beefy cheddar, this is what does it say? Spicy chipotle sauce, creamy chipotle sauce. Well, excuse me. So basically presentation is the same as the last one. Don't look too different. You know, this is the kind of the standard fare as far as Taco Bell presentation goes. But that was good. Let's get into it. Yes. Yes. This bite, what's going on in here? For $1 feels like you're stealing. That chipotle sauce brings this thing together. Take a look. Again, I know it doesn't look super sexy in there. That happens. But man, the chicken blends really, really well with the chipotle sauce. It gives a little bite, a little kick. It's not going to destroy you. Chipotle sauce doesn't do that unless you want it to. But for those of you who'd like just a little nibble back from your food, the chipotle in here will do that for you. It's interesting because no two bites in this thing are the same. It's quite different. I think I prefer this over, excuse me, over the beefy cheddar. Because the beefy cheddar had those familiar beefy, cheesy flavors. It was basically just a glorified taco, glorified soft shell taco, which is, this is what these are. But, they're served differently. And you got the chips in there. But what makes the difference in this one, the one thing that's unfortunate to me, but it's kind of a muddy taco thing, is that the meat game isn't very prevalent. What I mean by that, you can see all the meat in there. Totally. See the meat. See the chips. The problem is, the meat just doesn't taste like much of anything. It blends together with the rest of what's in there. So I'm not complaining too much. Because you have the chipotle sauce to give it that kick that it needs so desperately. That's why I was so impressed at first. This is, again, a buck for this. So, how much can you expect? Chicken would be great to have a little more presence in this. But that chipotle sauce makes it a fun ride. The heat of it varies throughout the meal, and it's fun. Well, I got my drink here. I recommend that if you're going to get any of these, you're probably going to want to have a drink. It's very salty. I like salty, so it doesn't bother me. But, what can you expect? The chips make it really salty. It's salty by nature. But for a buck, you can't go wrong. So, when I'm talking about the chicken not being that big a contender in the game, it's not like the beef was either. Neither meat really stood out, but what made the chicken slider sort of possibly have a little more leverage over the beef one was the addition of the chipotle sauce. Now, I'm sure you could ask for a chipotle sauce with the beef and sort of get your own deal going on there, and maybe that would be good. Because the chipotle sauce definitely adds another flavor dynamic to it that was not there with the beefy Crunchwrap. Now here's some that I know is going to be good, because I know a lot of people love it. And really, how can it not be? It's a little different from what we had. I don't know why I'm trying to draw out suspense, because I already told you what I'm doing. But in case you forgot, it is the loaded potato griller. My main man, he had a little trouble trying to find it on the menu and charge it. You know, on the little digital menu there, even though, you know, we know that it's on there because, oh, here it is. But what we got going on here is potato bites covered in warm nacho cheese, bacon, and sour cream. And then the tortilla. So, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, got bacon, potato, cheese. It's a match made in heaven. So let's pop this bad boy open here. Not much in the way of presentation. It just kind of, it's there, you know. I don't know. I feel like I was expecting more when it came to presentation. I don't know why, but that really doesn't matter. Because once we get into it, I'm sure it'll be great. You know, I got the grill on there. Some people like it, some people don't. Whatever, let's get into this. I don't know about that. Right now I'm seeing this potato in there. That's all I got. I got a bite full of tortilla shell, soft shell, and potato. I got nothing against potato. But hopefully there's more hiding in here. Let's go for another bite. Hopefully in here is where we'll find the good stuff. No. I mean, if you like potato, cool. I do too. I'm just seeing a little bit of bacon here. Finally got some. Gotta work to the middle of this thing if there'd be any other presence of anything but potato. Bacon is good though. But I'm not seeing any cheese or sour cream in there yet, and we're almost halfway done. No. I'll finish it, but Taco Bell. What's going on here? When these first came out, people loved them. Remember Dame's review of this thing? He thought this thing was the bomb. Now here we are, looking at it, and it's a real disappointment. I mean, I wasn't expecting the best thing in the world, but so now that we're getting near the end, now we have the sour cream and the cheese and the bacon coming in. I mean, I suppose you could say, well, you could have started at that end. You're an idiot. You can start at any end you want. By the way, when I started at this end, would have had the initial great flavors and stuff, but then the rest of the grill or burrito, whatever you say, would have been feeling empty. So it's either you start with emptiness and finish strong, or start strong and finish empty. The problem is, because there was hardly any cheese, those potato bites just going down so dry. They were not fun to eat. Now that I'm getting to where it's got the cheese and the sour cream, I'm digging it. So, but, I mean, it's still not great. But it's not as good as I was anticipating, but it's still pretty good. But maybe not good, but okay. Tell you, I had a far better time with those Crunchwrap sliders. This is just, ugh. Yeah, look. See, they crammed everything in at the very end. All that sour cream there, you might not be able to see. Any of the bacon hanging around on the sides. I was all waiting till the very end. Ugh. I mean, now the sour cream's leaking out the back. Where were you earlier, huh? Where was the sour cream and the bacon earlier? Where was the cheese earlier? I was just munching on a bread roll of potatoes until I finally get to the end. Where were you guys? Come on. Look, I'm not expecting gourmet quality here, but now I noticed when I did get there, the potatoes like disappeared. It was just like bread and bacon and sour cream. It couldn't make up its mind. What the hell, Taco Bell? I don't know how much this one was. Well, hold on, I will if I look at the receipt. We'll find out. Let's see. So those two sliders were $1. This was $1.69. Is this worth the extra 69 cents? No. So, basically, I can recommend those grillers. And I'm sure the BLT kind is good too, if you're into that kind of thing. I think your preference of the grillers will just come down to opinion. Really, they're both all right. For $1, sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. This though, almost $2. No, I mean maybe I just got a bad order of it. Maybe they just fucked up on cooking it. Who knows? Whatever it may be, maybe I just got unlucky. I don't know about that, but I somehow have a feeling that even if they didn't, this wouldn't be very good. It sounded great. Reviewers thought it was great, but from where I'm coming from, very lackluster. The flavor just hardly works. When it does work, it works really well. But those moments are all too brief and very fleeting. Not a fan of that loaded potato griller. Poor representation by Taco Bell. Potatoes were, they were on their own there, and there was no cheese in there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be a cheese going on. I didn't notice any cheese whatsoever, which is a real drag. Let's see. Yeah, warm nacho cheese, and the photo, it looks amazing and looks great, and of course false advertising. We all know it never looks like the photos, but that was just sad. There was no nacho cheese. The sour cream was in there at the very end, or at the very beginning. Hardly any bacon. It was shoved to the side, and the potatoes were just, they were there in full force and then not, and then there a little bit. Because when you're biting into this burrito full of potatoes, it's like, where is everything else? It's like you're biting into a potato sack. And it's very dry and strange. You're like, what is this? Not good. If you want to try it, go ahead, and hopefully you'll get a better construction of it than me, and it'll taste better. But me, I would not recommend that. So, wow, this is like what? The first thing I've ever not liked. I'd recommend everything else that I've had. Even some like the Big King and the Yumbo, especially that Yumbo is just basically a glorified ham sandwich. But see, what they did in there, they did well, and it was just okay. I didn't have a complaint with it. It was all right. This, there with that loaded potato griller though, that was not a strong showing by Taco Bell. I can't recommend that. This is the first thing I don't recommend. I'm pretty generous, even if something's okay, like those, like the Yumbo, or even a few moments during those Crunchwrap slides, they're okay. Maybe those Crunchwrap slides are a little bit better than the Yumbo. They're better than okay. But this was definitely sub-okay. It was not very good. So, 2 out of 3 in this episode, that's not bad, considering we had 3 items. You're not always going to love them all. The Crunchwrap sliders, go for it, knock yourself out. For $1, you can't go wrong. But for almost $2, when you're expecting a little bit more when you get in the loaded potato griller, that was an exercise in disappointment. I do not recommend that. So, other than that, that'll be it for today. ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for lots of new content coming your way from the All-Stars Conference. I'll have a video coming soon where I'll be doing it. I'm working on a promotional video right now for Disney. You'll see a separate call to action video for that. I'm working really hard on it, and it's turning out amazingly, so I hope you guys like that. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. But that'll be second half of the weekend, probably later on. Just got to get approval and go through a process first. But that's coming, and I really hope you guys will check that out and that you like it. Because we all need Disney in our lives. Disney is... where would we be without it, right? It's the best. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great weekend. If you've tried any of the items on the menu below, if you tried any of the items in this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, what you thought, what you'd like to see me try. It'll go on the list, and I'll give you a mention. And for those of you who are just asking me for shout-outs all the time, you know who you are. Or trying to, like, advertise in the comments of my videos. No. No. Listen, if you want me to sort of give you a shout out or something, contact me. Show me your stuff. If it's cool and there's work put into it, and I think, yeah, this guy's got potential, of course, I'd be more than happy to. But if it's just a spam advertising comment on one of my videos, then it's going to get deleted. I'm more than willing to, you know, personally help if I can do that. But if you're just coming here expecting to use my comments as a board to just promote yourself, then no. And if all you're asking for is a shout out, then definitely no. And don't come to me and suggest something really random and crummy as a food review just so you can get a shout out. You know, I only do stuff that interests me, but it'll go on the list regardless. And I do love you all, but there are a few of you out there who irk me. But I love you anyways. We're all a big happy family, right? Well, that's it for today, folks. Thank you for joining me. I don't know what's coming up next week. I kind of make up my mind what I'm going to do like 5 minutes before I set out and go do it. It's rare if I know the day before. Hell, even a week before. So I don't know what I'll be doing next week, but as far as I believe, we got some coming your way next week. We might even have a concert coming your way next week. I will be shooting a music video for a band pretty soon. Black metal band here from Buffalo called Hubris. They're pretty insane. You should go check them out. I'll be going to their concert next week, and we'll be shooting a music video sometime soon. It's going to be pretty sexy. So, well, that's about it, folks. I've got some emails to read, got some business to attend to, got a video to get to work on, and, well, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and, we'll get back into the schedule of food reviews. Welcome 2015 of the Kenshin in his car spouting nonsense like an idiot food reviews. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming out. Have a great weekend.